What's up, guys? It's noname4505 here, and hold on, let me turn that down a little bit. Okay, but yeah, it's 2:30 a.m. and in about 7 hours, I have to leave to go home from school for Easter week, or Easter weekend rather. But I've decided that now would be a good time to narrate a couple of these games. This is some Smog Tour action. This is my round 4 game, I believe. Round 3, yeah, this is round 4 because round 3 I decided to leave out because I hacked the dude, and it really wasn't a good game. And I think he got salty halfway through, but I don't remember. But this is user 1orange1. He's using a disgusting stall team. But unfortunately for him, I have a bunch of mons that harass stall, aka Lando I, Magma Storm Tran, and AV Torn. I believe that's Magic Art Cliff, but that's SR Cliff. But it doesn't really matter too much. So I haven't seen this game in a while, so we're going to see how it plays out. So it's going to be Club versus Sableye as the lead, and I figured he would try and lead the Sableye to get that Mega Evolved as soon as possible. So I wanted to lead with Clef to pressure it, and he goes to Jirachi, gets up his rocks, but rocks don't bother my team, so it's okay. So I'm just going to Mega Evolve Venu and try and put this to sleep. Actually, I'm going to Sludge Bomb, I want to say predicting the Amoonguss switch, but he gets the Body Slam on me, and now the Paraflint shenanigans begin. So I gotta go to Heatran, which is the thing that threatens this Rachi out, because I figure he's just gonna go for another Body Slam. And I definitely don't want Heatran to get paralyzed because it's my win con for the way that it traps stall. So I go for the Magma Storm right there, and obviously I trap this Chansey, which is good. So I believe I'm just gonna put a Toxic on it to whittle it down, as he just Seismic tosses me, probably Scout. Well, I mean, he whittles me down, plus he scouts to see if I have the taunt, which I reveal this turn, as I figure he's just going to Soft Boiled or Heal Bell or whatever. And now between Magma Storm and Toxic, this Chansey is getting really worn down, so I just go for Earth Power just to get a little chip on it, because Toxic plus Magma Storm will kill this Chansey next turn anyway. And yeah, now that Chansey goes down, so my special attackers have a huge field day, and like I said, this is why that Heatran is so amazing at being able to break stall, just trapping fat mons like Chansey and taking them out of the picture versus a stall team where having every single one of your mons is important. So I mean, Quagsire comes in, but I have a pretty easy switch to that in Clef because of Magic Guard as well. And then I get a free opportunity to set up my rocks, and if he wants to defog them away, that's better for me because I need the residual damage on his team. So I just stay in here with Venusaur for one little bit to try and get a synthesis off, which I do. And then I'm just going to go to Heatran because I figure he's going to Iron Head, but he body slams right there because I was, I guess he figured me to switch because I did synthesis. I was about to say because I was solo, but I did synthesis. So fortunately my Heatran is paralyzed, which is unfortunate, but so well. So I figure he's going to go to Quagsire or Mandibuzz or maybe even Sableye. But I figured he wouldn't go to Amoonguss, and I figured he wouldn't stay in. So Toxic was definitely the most optimal play there for me. And I hit this Quagsire, and since his Chansey's gone, I don't believe he has any other Heal Beller. So that's cool. And getting that Quagsire Toxic and putting that on a timer is cool because Quagsire is fat. So right there, I'm just going to hop out to Landers. I was into Clef, so I figured he would just go back to Jirachi because, like, I mean, that's his fairy answer. So I decided to play it safe and just go for Earth Power to see what his initial switch is. I mean, Mandibuzz is pretty obvious, but I think I only have HP Ice on that Lando I, which isn't going to do too much to him anyway, assuming he's special defensive. And I think it was just better for me in that situation just to scout like what he wanted to go for. Because if he goes to Mandibuzz, then he has to take rocks damage and such. So I've got Keldeo, he just foul plays me as whatever. And then I just go for a Skull to see if I can burn whatever he wants to switch in, mainly Amoonguss. Plus this Heatran being paralyzed is actually pretty good for me because he can't hit me up with the sleep, even though I have my Mega Venusaur anyway. So I just end up going for the Magma Storm right here. Just to hit whatever wants to come in, and really, unless Quagsire came in, I could trap anything. But even then, Quagsire has to take all this residual, and I figure he's probably just going to EQ me anyway in case like a taunt comes out or something. But now this Quagsire is just really low, which is good because I'm breaking down his team. Unfortunately, this Amoonguss is annoying, but because of where this Quagsire is at and the fact that his only switch, or his main switch, is weak to Ice, I decided to go for the Icy Wind with my Keldeo. Of course, this means he can go to Jirachi and potentially pass a Wish, and I just decided to play it safe in this particular scenario because I figure he's either going to go to Jirachi or Sableye, but again, just I don't really feel like I have to be aggressive in that particular situation, because even if he gets off a Wish, like, out of all the things that he wants to pass that Wish to, like, the main thing is Quagsire, which I'm making Venusaur, so I'm probably gonna have a Grass type move. I actually don't, but because I have Sleep Powder, but it's okay. So I just let my my Venusaur die there because I don't really want to switch anything into this Jirachi because it's a huge pain. And now I'm just going to go to Lando, and then I just go for the HP Ice, predicting the Mandibuzz to come in, which will 2 KO it at that point. But unfortunately, he just sacks his Quagsire, which is a good play. But again, like, my goal is just to weaken his Mons down little by little. So this is looking pretty good for me right now. I bring in Clef, and he's going to go to either Amoonguss or Jirachi. And so I end up going out to Torn right there, and he goes to his Amoonguss, so I get that play right with Torn, and I think I'm just gonna knock off. I do Hurricane right there. Unfortunately, because of lefties, I can't deal with them, but I'm gonna go for the knockoff right there just to get rid of these, just get rid of the lefties from that Mandibuzz so it's less fat. And if he wants to defog right there, like I said, I feel like that's better for me than it is for him, because I can just get my rocks up pretty easily. And he gets it up with Jirachi, but it's all good. So he's gonna go to Jirachi right here, and do I go back to my Lando Eye? Yes, I do. So I mean, he's either going to this or he's going to Amoonguss. So from full health, Jirachi can live, and he tries to parry me right there, like a special person, but he chooses not to do that. Or he did do that, but he didn't get the parry, so he made what I consider to be a bad play by letting his Jirachi get really low, and did not get rewarded. So thankfully the game chose to be on my side for once, and I just decided to get my rocks up right here. I probably should have been aggressive, but I figured, like, it's whatever. If he wishes, he wishes. So I'm gonna go to Heatran right here just because I don't want to get body slammed, because I know that's what he's gonna go for, because I have to switch, and my switch is either at to Torn or to Lando Eye. So I just go to Train right there, and then I figure I'm just going to stay in, because if he wants to Wish, then I can deal with him. But he ends up going for Rocks right there, which that play also was a play that I consider very poor. He either should have switched out. Well, actually, I don't really think he could have switched into anything. So I don't know. I just don't think that just going for Rocks right there, like, ooh, you went for your Rocks, oh boy. Like, you know what I mean? And because of that, he goes to a Sableye and gets bodied by the Magma Storm. And I can get a Toxic off on this Mandibuzz, which is really good, because I'm just getting rid of the fat. So really the last thing, because this where this Jirachi is Amoonguss. And plus I have Lando, so I think I go to Lando right here. No, I go to Torn, predicting the Amoonguss this time because his Jirachi is low. Yeah, that would make sense. And I can actually just knock off right there because his Jirachi is that low and take him out. Well, I'm just a little too smart for my good. So, yeah, I end up taking him out. Even if I miss a Hurricane right here, it doesn't matter. So I just go for the Hurricane. And I believe Torn can just clean up right here. And even if Torn can't clean up, I have Heatran. But yeah, Torn does clean up. So it was a pretty good game. I definitely had a huge team advantage. And I think, like, he made a couple of poor plays with his Jirachi, I feel. But outside of that, he played that, I feel like, as well as he could. But just my team handled Stall very well. So let's go to the last game from this week, which is versus Extra Shine. I think I'm in round 6 or round 7 at this point. I think round 6. Oh no, round 5. What am I saying? Alright, so I'm just going to include this at the end because I get destroyed. So this is versus Extra Shine using a very cool hyper offense team. So basically, I predicted. Basically, what screwed me up was because I tunneled it. I use Team Preview, and one of the good things about Team Preview is that I obviously get to see your opponent's team. But one of the bad things, at least for me, is that sometimes I tunnel vision what I think my opponent's team is going to do, what their sets are and such. And when it turns out to not be that, I end up getting screwed over. So I lead with Venusaur because I figure he's going to lead Scolipede. And Scolipede's like the lead set that I know is like Hazards, Endeavor, and then like Mega Horn or Pin Missile or something. So I figure he's just gonna lead with that Scolipede or Baton Pass as like the last move to, you know, Baton Pass speed boosts. But I figure he's gonna lead with that, so I'll lead with my Venusaur to try and put that to sleep as soon as possible, so that Scolipede can't pass boosts around if it wants to do that, or it can't lay out hazards if it wants to do that. But it leads with Chomp, and I can't stand versus that because I need my Venusaur healthy to deal with this Venusaur. And even if I put Garchomp to sleep, like, the damage that I take isn't worthwhile. So I just go to Clef, and he ends up just getting up his rocks anyway, which makes me a little bit mad, but it's whatever. So I think I just get my rocks up here because 3 out of his mons are rocks weak, so getting rocks up is cool. So I go back to my Venusaur because, again, I think that this is a hazard setting set, and he's going to stack hazards right here, and I can put him to sleep. But, no, he's offensive. And then right here, I make kind of a panicky play, go to Torn, wear him down. I mean, I can't do anything anyway, and I needed that Venusaur to deal with his Azu, so I'm like, okay, Torn, you know, that's my most sackable thing. And then Scolipede's gonna go down, and then Baton Pass right here. Uh-oh. So I gotta hope for a Scald Burn right here. Do I get the Scald Burn? Nope. So I end up going to Venu right here just to sack it, because I think I'm just gonna go to Clef right here. Yeah, I'm just gonna go to Clef and then try and beat this Azu down that way. So he ends up getting a crit versus me, which ended up not mattering that much because I can just T-Wave him. And then he'll still outspeed me, but I can just revenge. Actually, no, I still outspeed him. That's interesting. I don't know. But I end up dealing with that, and now his Azu was low. So I could just go to Keldeo and I could just fire off a Scald. But that means then he just goes to like Kyurem or something later. Or he just goes to Thundy, and then he can just fire off T-Bolts. So I'm going to go to Lando right here as he just fires off a T-Bolt probably. And then now I have to scout for the HP Ice. I stay in being real as shit because like at this point I kind of lost. So hold on, let me pause this. So basically he was bluffing in the chat, so I'm like, please no HP Ice fam. And he's like, I'm weak to Venus, or so fly. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. I could see the Venusaur weakness, kind of. Even though he has Kyurem and Scolipede. So I'm thinking, okay, he's HP fly. But well, actually I'm not thinking that. I'm thinking he's definitely HP Ice right there because he said that. So what I'm thinking right here is he gonna do me like that? So I know he's not going to HP fly me, but I'm thinking like, okay, he's probably just going to focus blast me because he got me thinking. Like, okay, well, when you say that, like, I know that you're not HP flying. So I just stayed in right there because I thought that he was going to go for like superpower focus blast or something to hit my Heatran, or go for T-Bolts. But he just decides to go for HP, so I bring in my Heatran right there. And I think I just go for Magma Storm. He brings in Chomp and I miss. Like, at this point, the game is essentially over, and I'm just gonna go to Keldeo right here because I can live the EQ. I think I'm just gonna go for Icy Wind, and I end up missing, so it's like a 5-0 instead of a 4-0, but it's whatever. So yeah, I got smashed by Extra Shine. Had I not tunnel visioned myself early in the game and let my Venusaur get weakened, I think I would have had a pretty good chance of winning. I mean, his team has really hyper offense, and my team was kind of fat, so I'm not sure, to be honest. Plus, I don't know what his Scolipede moveset was. I know he was Mega Horn, Poison Jab, Baton Pass, probably EQ. So that means my Torn probably could have beaten it. What did my Torn die to? I think it died to Scolipede, actually. Yeah, it died to Scolipede. Well, I mean, it's whatever. You win some and you lose some. And the matchup wasn't necessarily in my favor, but I definitely didn't play that as optimally as I could have. So GG's anyway, so that was week 1. Week 2 will be coming shortly. And yeah, I hope you all enjoy, and peace.